Okay, so this time, the topic focus on business analytics. Sorry, I think ethical hacking na, no? Ethical hacking and cybersecurity trends, no? So ethical hacking and cybersecurity trends play an important role in today's digital first world where organizations and individuals face ever-growing cyber threats. Because ethical hacking, also known as penetration testing or white hat hacking, is the practice of legally and deliberately probing computer systems and networks for vulnerabilities before malicious hackers can exploit them. Let's say, for example, no, an organization often hires certified ethical hackers to simulate attacks on their website or apps to uncover weaknesses and fix them before real damage can occur. Okay, ethical hacker are often the unsung heroes of cybersecurity. Unlike cyber criminals, now they operate within legal boundaries, helping businesses protect sensitive data like customer information, no, intellectual property, and financial records. Think of them as digital locksmiths who break into their own system, but with permission, no, to make security locks stronger. For instance, bank rely heavily on ethical hackers to secure mobile banking apps, especially as phishing attacks and identify theft cases continue to rise. Okay, so to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dean, for the introduction of
Morning.
our topic, another topic for this day. Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Yvonne Regala, and today I will be presenting on ethical hacking and cybersecurity trends. So, okay pa, gising na ba kayo? Pa-heart react naman ako kung gising na kayo. Ayan, ang daming nag-heart. Ayan, sige. Mag-coffee muna kayo diyan, ganyan. Magising tayo kasi medyo maaga tayo nag-start. So at first glance, ethical and hacking sound like total opposites. It's like they don't go together. No? It's like legally like saying legal bank robbery. But in the world of cybersecurity, ethical hacking is not only real, it is vital. So today we will explore how this so-called good hackers help protect systems by thinking like the bad guys, and how cybersecurity trends are rapidly evolving to keep up with smarter and faster threats. Yan. So, proceed na ako sa presentation. So, for today's session, we will explore first the overview of ethical hacking. We'll also tackle penetration testing methodologies, also the emerging cyber threats and attacks. We will also touch AI and machine learning in cybersecurity and the future of cybersecurity in business. So, without further ado, let's get started. Ethical hacking involves authorized testing and evaluation of systems, networks, or applications to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses. So for ethical hacking, we have three components. First, ethical hackers. So as what Dean said, these are also known as the white hat hackers. So they use the same techniques as malicious hackers, but instead of causing harm, their aim is to strengthen the cybersecurity defenses. Their role is crucial in preventing data breaches and cyber attacks. White hats simulate attacks to strengthen systems. Ito yung opposite ng black hat hackers who operate with a malicious intent. Yung gray hats naman, they fall somewhere in between. Next component is legal permission. So the key difference between ethical hacking and illegal hacking is that ethical hackers have explicit permission to probe for weaknesses. And nabanggit naman siya ni Dean kanina na legal siya. And the goal is to prevent malicious cyber attacks by identifying vulnerabilities before hackers can exploit them. Actually, ethical hacking is about being proactive rather than being reactive. So instead of waiting for a breach to happen, organizations hire ethical hackers to identify weaknesses early. It is like getting a health checkup, actually. If you want to catch the problems before they become critical, nagpapa-check up ka na, di ba? So this ethical hacking, it builds trust with customers, regulators, and investors. So a real-world example of ethical hacking in action is Tesla's bug bounty program. Uh, Tesla rewards ethical hackers for discovering vulnerabilities in its software systems. So it invites researchers to find and report vulnerabilities in its software, even in its cars. Uh, Actually, one hacking event, a team gained control of a Tesla Model 3 systems, and as a reward, Tesla gave them the car and quickly patched the flaw. With millions paid out in rewards, Tesla shows how ethical hacking can strengthen security and build customer trust. Ayan. Next is penetration testing and methodologies. Na-mention na din siya kanina ni Dean. So penetration testing is a key component of cybersecurity. It is actually a specific subset of ethical hacking. And it is also a time-bound assessment where security professionals, they simulate cyber attacks on a system to identify vulnerabilities in an organization's IT infrastructure. Para siyang yung stress test. Yan, kung nag-undergo na kayo ng stress test. It's like a stress test for your cyber security defenses, excuse me. Uh, Penetration testing typically follows a series of phases. So actually, you have five. First is planning and information gathering. So in this phase, ethical hackers gather as much information as possible about the target system to understand the attack surface. So para may understanding the environment muna. Next is second is scanning and enumeration. So in this phase, this involves discovering open ports, services, and vulnerabilities that could be used to gain access. Third is exploitation. Ethical hackers try to exploit any identified vulnerabilities to assess the level of risk. After which is the post-exploitation. So once na gain na yung access, hackers gather information or maintain access to the system to understand potential data loss. And lastly, of course, hindi lang naman pwedeng exploit lang. Syempre that may reporting, may feedback. So the findings are documented and recommendations are provided to fix the weaknesses. Kasi doon naman yun talaga yung binabayaran natin sa kanila para magkaroon ng feedback doon sa system. So these are the types of penetration testing. So first we have black box testing, in which the tester has no prior knowledge of the system. So no credentials, no architectural information. So ito, minimimic niya yung real world attack where the hacker starts with no internal information at all. It's just like someone from the outside trying to find a way in. With white box testing, the tester has a full access to the system, full access to the source code, the internal documents, and credentials. It is the opposite actually of the black box testing. So here, the tester has full access to the system's code and structure, and it is more about depth than discovery. And lastly, we have gray box testing. So this is a mix of both. Testers have limited knowledge, like normal users access, or maybe the tester has a login or some internal documentation. And this simulates a more realistic scenario where an attacker already has a foot in the door. So as an example, and to highlight the importance of penetration testing, let's look at one of the most well-known cybersecurity failures, the Yahoo data breach, which occurred between 2013 to 2014. So yung breach na to, it impacted over 3 billion, imagine 3 billion user accounts, making it the largest data breach ever recorded. It was not just email addresses and passwords ang di lang yun ang nanakaw, no, pati security questions, recovery information, and other sensitive data na expose din. So how could penetration testing have helped kung nag-conduct lang sana sila ng penetration testing? If Yahoo had regularly conducted penetration tests, ethical hackers could have discovered serious weaknesses in their system, like yung outdated encryption standards or kung meron man silang lax na security protocols. So these tests are designed to simulate real-world attacks, as mentioned a while ago, and they likely would have uncovered the same flaws the attackers exploited. So that the attackers in this case were actually state sponsored and highly sophisticated, but proactive security measures like strong internal testing and regular vulnerability assessments could have detected the intrusion earlier or prevented it entirely. So ultimately, this breach severely damaged Yahoo's credibility and led to a $350 million drop in its sale price to Verizon. So this is a perfect example of why penetration testing is not just a technical necessity. It is now considered as a business imperative. So ang laki ng nawala sa Yahoo that time. As the digital world grows, so does the sophistication of cyber threats. So let's go over some of the emerging threats that businesses must be prepared for. First, we have ransomware attacks. Ransomware is one of the most financially devastating forms of cyber attacks today. So hackers encrypt victims' data and then demand payment. So parang ransom talaga. Usually in Bitcoin, yun yung payment, in exchange for the decryption key. So the most famous case for this is the WannaCry ransomware attack back in May 2017. So this ransomware spread rapidly across the globe, and it infected over 200,000 computers in 150 countries. Ganon kalawak yung coverage niya in just a matter of days. It exploited a vulnerability in Microsoft Windows known as Eternal Blue, which had actually been developed by the US National Security Agency and later leaked by a group called the Shadow Brokers. So, ang pinaka-naapektuhan nito, isa sa mga pinaka-naapektuhan nito is yung UK's National Health Service or NHS. Ang nangyari is yung hospital system nila, it went offline, na-cancel yung mga surgeries, naging inaccessible yung patient records, and ambulances were also diverted. So the attack cost an estimated 92 million pounds in damages to that agency alone, yung NHS. So the tragedy is many systems, especially older or unmanaged ones, had not been updated. Although for this case, a security patch to fix this vulnerability had already been released by Microsoft. So na-address na siya ni Microsoft. Kung nagkaroon lang sana ng routine patching, security monitoring, and penetration testing, wala sanang massive disruption na nangyari na ganito or na-avoid sana yung WannaCry ransomware attack. So aside from ransomware attack, we have phishing attacks. So these are major threat vector, not just for individuals, but for large corporations as well. And these attacks rely on social engineering. So tricking people into giving up sensitive information or access. Ito yung may mga email na di-disguise na as akala mo legit siya na website, pero pag kinlik mo, ayan na ano ka na, nabitag ka na. So in 2014, Sony Pictures Entertainment fell victim to one of the most devastating cyber attacks ever. And it all started with a phishing email, yun nga. Hackers who were believed to be linked to North Korea, they sent targeted emails to Sony employees posing as trustworthy senders. So merong mga employee ng Sony na nag-click doon sa malicious links na dineploy nitong hackers, no? So unknowingly, naibigay nila yung login credentials nila through clicking that link. So once inside, the attackers wreaked havoc. So they stole terabytes of confidential data, including emails, employee salaries, social security numbers, and even unreleased films by Sony. So to make matters worse, the hackers also wiped data and shut. So hindi lang sila nagnakaw, binura pa nila yung data at shinut down yung system. So, ang naging labas talaga is parang naging hostage niya talaga si Sony that time. So, the motive was reportedly linked to Sony's film, The Interview, kung familiar kayo. This is a comedic film that portrayed the fictional assassination of North Korea's leader. Ako napanood ko siya. So, funny talaga siya and amusing. So, actually nung nagre-research lang ako tsaka ako 'to nalaman, itong cyber attack na 'to, na nagkaroon pala ng ganito. Kasi actually nung habang nanonood ako ng interview parang sabi ko masyadong controversial 'to. Hindi ba ma-o-offend si North Korea with this? Ayun pala nagkaroon pala ng ganitong ganap, 'no? So the breach cost Sony millions and caused massive reputational damage. And this example underscores the importance of employee awareness. So, kailangan dapat aware ng employees natin na hindi lang basta nagkiklik or kahit tayo personally ng kung hindi naman trustworthy yung sender, wag na natin i-click. No? Hindi porket sinabi na nanalo tayo ng 1 million, wala naman tayo sinalihan, nanalo tayo. Di ba? Doon pala magtaka ka na. So, dapat may, ayun nga, employee awareness, phishing simulations. So, kailangan may simulations din para the employees get to feel of kung ano talaga yung uh, legit feels na pag may phishing na pala na nangyayari. And also penetration testing, of course, which can uncover weak points in user behavior and email filtering systems before an attacker does. So another trend in cyber attack is the advanced persistent threats or APT. So these are highly coordinated long-term attacks often backed by nation states, and they aim to quietly infiltrate and remain undetected for months or even years while gathering intelligence or causing damage. So ang landmark case nito is, one landmark case is the Stuxnet, which was discovered in 2010. 2010 lang na-discover, but believed to have been in development for years. So imagine, ang tagal na pala siyang dinidevelop. Stuxnet was a joint US-Israeli cyber operation and it targeted Iran's nuclear enrichment program. So the malware was designed rather to infiltrate the SCADA or the supervisory control and data acquisition systems that control centrifuge at the Natan's nuclear facility. So yung centrifuge, ito yung devices na gumagamit daw po ng centrifugal force to separate substances based on their density by spinning them. So umiikot siya at high speeds. So what made Stuxnet, So what made Stuxnet, remarkable was its precision. So it used for zero-day vulnerabilities and sophisticated mechanisms to avoid detection kasi ang tagal na nga siya dinedevelop. Once inside, it subtly altered how centrifuge operated, yung mga machine, causing them to spin too fast or too slow while reporting everything as normal to operator. So may abnormality na pala, pero yung nire-report pa rin ng machine is as if it's normal, as if it's operating normally. So this sabotage delayed Iran's nuclear capability significantly. So this Stuxnet proved that cyber weapons could have real-world physical consequences, and it opened the door to a new kind of digital warfare. So pwede na talaga ngayon ang digital warfare. It also highlighted the need for industrial systems, which are often overlooked in traditional IT security, to undergo again penetration testing, risk assessments, and layered security defenses. So as cyber threats continue to grow in both scale and sophistication, traditional security tools are no longer enough to keep pace. That is where artificial intelligence and machine learning come in. So these technologies are transforming the cybersecurity landscape by allowing organizations to detect, to analyze, and to respond to threats faster and more intelligently than ever before. So let's first tackle AI in cybersecurity. Automated threat detection. So AI powered systems are incredibly good at processing massive amounts of data in real time. They learn what normal activity looks like across your network, like usual login times, traffic flows, or user behavior, and then it flags anything that looks out of place. Then there's predictive analytics, which uh which take which takes which takes things a step further. So by analyzing past incidents, AI can actually forecast potential threats before they happen. Ang galing, no? It looks for early warning signs, maybe a small vulnerability that tends to be exploited just before ransomware attack, for example, or a pattern of suspicious emails spreading through the organization. So a great example of this in action is a company called Darktrace. Ayan. So they use AI to create what's called a digital immune system for businesses. Their platform constantly learns from the environment and detects threats that traditional tools might miss. In one real case, Darktrace was able to spot and stop a ransomware attack within minutes. In a matter of minutes lang na-stop na nila. Before any data was encrypted. Just by noticing subtle anomalies in how data was being accessed. These technologies are not just futuristic. They are already changing the way companies defend themselves today. And as cyber threats continue to evolve, AI will not replace cybersecurity team. So that's not the goal, no? But it will empower them to act faster and smarter. Machine learning, on the other hand, plays a huge role in modern cyber defense, especially when it comes to detecting threats that do not follow predictable patterns. Let's start with anomaly detection. Machine learning models are trained to understand what normal behavior looks like within a system, such as the typical login locations, the access times, or file movement. And once that baseline is established, the system can flag any unusual activity. Kasi nga naaral niya na yung normal behavior ng system. For instance, if there is a sudden spike in data being transferred late at night from an internal user, or if someone logs in from two different countries within minutes, the system knows something's off and can alert the security team immediately. Now, then there's adaptive learning. What makes machine learning powerful is that it is not static. It is not static. It evolves over time. As it processes more data and learns from both legitimate activity and attempted attacks, the model gets smarter. So, habang mas marami siyang naaral, mas nagiging smart siya. It becomes better at filtering out false positives and catching more subtle threats than that might otherwise slip through the cracks. So, a great example for this is the JP Morgan Chase. Yan, meron dito tayo niyan sa Philippines, no, sa JP Morgan. As one of the largest financial institutions in the world, they are massive they are a massive target for cyber attacks. So, undeniably naman yan. Basta malaking institution, prone yan or vulnerable yan cyber attacks. To protect their systems and customer data, JP Morgan uses machine learning algorithms to monitor billions of transactions in real time. These tools help them detect fraud patterns and abnormal behaviors quickly, often before a human analyst would even notice. So just by using machine learning, companies like JP Morgan are not just reacting to attacks, they are staying one step ahead. So it is being proactive rather than being reactive. As technology continues to evolve at an incredible pace, and so does the landscape of cybersecurity. So the future of cybersecurity in business is not just about keeping up with threats. It is about staying ahead of them. So let's start with how cybersecurity itself is evolving. So we are seeing a clear shift from reactive to proactive defense. So in the past, many companies focus on responding to threats after they happen. So, corrective action lang. No? Now, the focus is on early detection and prevention. That means using advanced analytics, automation, and threat intelligence to stop attacks before they even begin. Also, one key approach in this shift is the zero trust architecture. This model flips the old assumption that everything inside your network is safe. Instead, it treats every access request, whether from a trusted device or not, as potentially malicious. So no one gets a free pass. So walang exemption. So every user, device, and application is verified before access is granted. Parang ganito yung sa Facebook, no? So kahit ilang beses mo pa nagamit yung device na yan, kapag hindi, kapag nag-login ka diyan, kahit pa nagamit mo na yan before, meron pa ring request. Kung mapapansin niyo kung marami kayong devices. Ako kasi kahit lipat ako sa laptop or sa phone, ayan, nagre-request pa rin ng access or do you trust this device? Parang gano'n. Do you know this person? Do you trust this location? Gano'n. Another major area is cloud security. With more businesses moving their operations and data to the cloud, securing those environments is a top priority. So it's not just about protecting what's on your physical servers anymore. It's about safeguarding a much more complex, often decentralized infrastructure. Now, while those changes are exciting or seem promising, they don't come without challenges. And one big issue is the cybersecurity skills shortage. Now, many organizations are struggling to find and keep skilled professionals. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, pag ang demand mataas, so as the demand grows, so does the competition for talent. Kaya yung salary for people with skills on cybersecurity mataas talaga kasi limited lang sila. So, mababa yung supply, no, ng cybersecurity. na may skills on cybersecurity. Another challenge is balancing security with innovation. Businesses are rapidly adopting new technologies like AI, Internet of Things, and 5G, but each of these brings new vulnerabilities. The key is finding ways to secure these systems without slowing down progress. Now, looking ahead, several emerging technologies are set to reshape the future of cybersecurity. First, we have quantum computing. This is one of the most talked about nowadays. While it holds huge potential for solving complex problems, it could also break many of today's encryption methods, which means we need to start preparing now for what's called post-quantum cryptography. So another promising development is blockchain. I believe this will be discussed by one of our classmates later. While it is mostly known for uh, powering cryptocurrencies, it also has applications in cybersecurity like enhancing transparency, reducing fraud, and securing digital identities. And finally, biometric and advanced authentication methods are gaining uh, attraction. Things like facial recognition, and sa mga phones natin, facial recognition, voice authentication, and even DNA-based, meron na palang ganun, DNA-based security are being explored. These technologies could make passwords a thing of the past and redefine how we prove who we are in the digital world. In short, the future of cybersecurity in business will demand smarter tools, more proactive strategies, and continuous innovation. And while the challenges are real, so are the opportunities, excuse me, to build a safer digital future. So before we close, let's go over the key takeaways from today's discussion about ethical hacking and cybersecurity trends. First, ethical hacking is essential in identifying security flaws before real attackers can even exploit them. It is a proactive approach that helps organizations stay ahead of cyber criminals. Second, we tackled penetration testing and regular security assessments, which are crucial tools for uncovering vulnerabilities and strengthening defenses. So, in today's threat landscape, prevention is always better than reaction. We also looked at the emerging threats like ransomware, phishing attacks, and APTs. And these attacks are becoming more targeted and sophisticated, which means our defense strategies must be equally smart and adaptable. So that's where AI and machine learning come in. So these technologies are transforming how we handle cybersecurity by automating threat detection, learning from past attacks, and predicting potential risk. Now, looking forward, the future of cybersecurity in business will be shaped by constant innovation. Technologies like quantum computing, blockchain, and biometrics will redefine how we secure our systems. But let us just take note that they will also introduce new challenges. So with that, cybersecurity is a continuous journey. It is not a one-time fix. So as technology evolves, so do the methods used by cyber criminals. So that's why staying informed, staying proactive, and resilient is absolutely critical, not just for IT teams, but for entire organizations. And let us always remember, in cybersecurity, being one step ahead makes all the difference. And with that, I thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you so much, no? Recent cybersecurity trends reflect a shift toward proactive security. No, business now focus not just on preventing attacks but on detecting them quickly and responding effectively. Technologies like AI-driven threat detection, no, behavioral analytics, and zero trust architecture are gaining traction. No? A good example is how some hospitals use AI tools to spot unusual access to medical records, no, plugging insider threats or external breaches in real time, no, before confidential patient data is leaked. Another trend is in the growing importance of cybersecurity awareness among employees and users. No matter how advanced a system is, human error, no, like clicking on a suspicious email, no, can open the door to cyber attacks. No, ethical hackers often help train employees through simulated attacks, no, like fake phishing emails, no, to test and improve their cybersecurity habits. This real world experience, or this world exercises uh, help organization build a culture for security from within, no, with reducing their overall risk exposure. So as cyber threats now become more sophisticated, ethical hacking and staying updated on cyber security trends is no longer optional. It's essential. So government, school, private companies, and even NGOs need to take cybersecurity seriously, no? Especially in sectors like finance, no, healthcare, and education, because through embracing ethical hacking, no, and tracking emergency threats, no, we can stay one step ahead of cyber criminals and create safe digital environments for everyone, no? Right. The role of the role of ethical hacking, no, it has expanded beyond traditional penetration testing. Okay, so to include red teaming, vulnerability research, and bug bounty programs. Okay, so I think that's it for this topic. Thank you so much.